I have to say, this has been a labor of love, and I am very excited that I am seeing the light at the end of the tunnel on this. These are all the current Prismacolor Premier colors. They are in order. I've started at page 1, and they go in order according to how the Prismacolor online site, their store, their shop, whatever you want to call it, has theirs lined out. Okay, so the color order is not something I have made up. This is theirs. Now, what I have done is on every page, and I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here. Do you see those colors? Now, not everything. Ginger Root doesn't have an equivalent in the Lycra Polycolors. It doesn't have an equivalent in the Marco Renoirs or the Marco Raffines or the Polychromos. But yet there's some, like down here, that you get 3 or 4 colors that match up. Now, what is the good of this? A lot of times I do coloring pages and I will teach with the Prismacolors. Well, if somebody doesn't have the Prismacolors, but let's say they have the Marco Raffines, then they can look at that chart and they can follow the number over and they can see what color is going to be the equivalent. Does that make sense? So also with this download, you're going to get this sheet because there are going to be some new colors come in and out. You're going to want to be able to add those. Okay, so this way you can keep going from those same charts. So when you get your download, make a couple of copies of this and then one of everything else. Okay, and you'll notice there's an empty row or column. That's so that you can put in whatever colored pencil group you have that's not already included in there. And you've probably got one of these others or a friend does, and y'all can sit down together and figure out where yours all go. Okay, so let's say I'm teaching out of the Polychromos and I don't even have all the Polychromos. Oh yeah, I had a couple of friends help me with this. I don't have the Polycolors and I don't have but just a few of the Polychromos. But let's say I'm teaching out of these and you've got the Marco Raffines. Well, then you can go to the Marco Raffine aisle and look and see what matches up if there's something close. There may not be, but a lot of times there are. All right, and then I've also included, I believe this is the 100 count set of the Marco Renoirs that I own. So those are all lined up. Now, it doesn't work that the Polycolors line up with the Polychromos. Okay, they might, but they might not. It depends on how well that Polychromo lined up with the Prismacolors. Okay, so let me see if I can find you an example. I saw something just a while ago that caught my eye. All right, there's this one right here. See how that one? Okay, this is, flip this one over. This is the Polychromo, or the Polycolor, excuse me, it's written right there. This is the Marco Raffine. That Marco Raffine is a little orangey when you put it up next to that blush pink. All right, this Polychromo is a little bit darker when you put it up to the next to that blush pink. So this is more equal to this. That's why that line is across. Those two are more equal to each other. This one is more orangey. This one is darker. So there's going to be little notes like that. And I encourage you to put little notes on the chart yourself also. Now, like I said, this is a 7-page download. You're also going to get this. And you're going to get one of these. It's another full sheet without my little heading and intro on it. The thing with that is I started taking notes in the back of some of my swatches. This one has none. Okay, I know I did, seriously. I know I did. This one. See, this is my polys, my polychromos. This is how I make gold without using a gold pencil. So what I could do is write in here polys or polychromos. Then I could put the numbers going across and blend them as I go, and I would have that right there as reference. Okay, then I could take the other brands of pencils I have, use the charts, match it up, do a mock out real quick just on a scratch sheet of paper, make sure it looks right, and I could write those in right underneath. Okay, so hopefully this will be some help to you. It's going to be 2 downloads because there's 7 pages of just the coloring sheets, the conversion tables rather. And with there being 7 pages of that, I couldn't get it in one download. I'm just not that smart, I guess. I don't know. So it's going to be 2 separate downloads. Now, your download is going to be all black and white. I am working on, but I am not there yet. I am working on doing a full color, just the Prismacolor Premieres. I'm not doing all the other colors across for you. I don't have them all, okay? But I do have, I believe, most all of these Prismacolor Premieres. So I am going to do a second download that's going to be titled like Full Color Prismas or something. So when you're reading what you're going to download, be sure if you want the colored ones like this, that you watch for that to come out. If you want the ones that are going to come out in black and white, then you'll be able to download that right away. Now, those cute little circles, yeah, I have to show you how I do that. Let's take this first page. Here's the first page. And yeah, I did all this in paint.net. I don't have a program where I can just type it in and it work. So I had to go back and forth and jury rig and draw out my lines and everything. I cannot tell you how many hours have been spent on this. So there is a kind of like a little disclaimer on that first introductory page, thanking the people that have helped me do this, and also explaining that if you print this off and give it to somebody, you're stealing, okay? I bet I've spent 20 hours working on this. So please don't do that. These are not going to cost that much. Your friends are going to be able to go in and download them and get them on their own. Now, this is something that's been around for a long time, as you can tell. I have 2 of these, and this one's actually by IBM. What I would do if I were you is take your color sheet like this, just take one of them with you to the store. Go to the drafting section of the craft store and look for the ruler. Make sure it's got something that's going to fit in your area. And then all I've been doing is I line it up, and I'm going to do a few of these for you. And I do the circle. I go one way, then I turn and I go the other way, and then I go ahead and go up and down also. This just ensures that that circle is solid. Now, some people like to, while the circle's still there, go around it in black. I don't. One simple reason: if you go around that with black, it filters what you're really seeing, because that black changes things. It changes the way you see. So that's why I don't. Even on the white one, I'm not going around it. And I used to would have, but not anymore. Okay, so then next is ginger root. And you just check your color, make sure that it's right, and go around there. Go one way, go the other way, and then go a third direction. That's just being sure to really fill all those holes in. Okay, and you can see this is going to work out pretty quick. Next is artichoke. I personally, in my swatches, I have artichoke in the greens. But again, or maybe it's in the browns. I believe it would be in the greens though. But again, this is following the chart that's on Prismacolor. That way I knew everybody would be standard. Now that was a darker color than yellow, so I'm going to use my fingers and rub over that because I don't want to yellow. I don't want to drag that artichoke through with this lemon yellow pencil. Okay, that would make a mess and it would contaminate my yellow to where I was not getting a pure color. And you can see there's still little bits on there some, even though I went through there. All right, so if you want me to color it for you, knowing that all printers are a little bit different, then that will be a separate download. And again, I do not even have these ready. This is how far I am, just what you see right now. Yeah, those other 2 pages I showed you, I messed up on some of the colors and had to go back in and make changes. My team and I have been working on this for about 3 or 4 days and just emailing back and forth and doing what we can to make sure that it's as right as it can be. Now I'm going back to a yellow, and that was an orange. Again, this is Prismacolor's color placement for all these. Okay, I'm not making this up. This is not even how I keep my colors. But it won't matter because you have color name and you have number. So if this would have been in a brown or a yellow in yours, then you know that's where you're going to go look for that color when you're wanting to get the equivalent. Okay, next is yellow ochre. From time to time, I pull out like 10 or 12 pencils at a time and do these, and then put those 10 or 12 back so that I'm not having to redo my whole book later, because I do keep them all in a book. But from time to time, you do need to stop and just double check the number, make sure you're still going down the right path to make sure that your numbers are all lined up right. Prismacolor is a little harder to erase if you mess up, but it's not impossible. So, all right, see, so it took that long just to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So that's not bad. There are battery operated pencil sharpeners out there that will lift pretty much any Prismacolor. So, all right, I hope there's not any questions. I hope I've covered all this. Again, please don't hand these out. I just, like I said, it just took too long for somebody to get to just copy them and not do any of the reference back to what we've been doing. But anyway, so if you want them in full color, it's going to take me another day or so to get all those colored. Only your Prismacolor line is going to be colored if you go for the colored ones. The rest of these will not be. All right? If you want them in the black and white only, just the circles like this, well, no circles at all, just the blank spots, that's going to be downloadable in just a few minutes. All right? Again, over on Etsy, I am Pam 1 Stroke, or you can look me up by Pam Proctor, Proctor. So, hope this is helpful, and I hope it helps you to get a handle on all the different pencils that we have and which ones can actually be substituted out for which ones, and make this whole process just a bit simpler. Yeah, I have a bunch. All right, thanks.